Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the podcast. This is episode 11. Episode 11. And in the last episode, episode 10, we stopped at section 70 of the Police Act. We'll continue from section 71 now. Part 8. And we'll be discussing warrants. General authority to issue warrants, form and requisites of warrant of arrest, blah, blah, blah. That's what we'll be discussing. Okay, so section 71 now says, where under a law there is power to arrest a suspect without warrant, a warrant for his arrest may be issued by the court. Okay, section 72, subsection 1. A warrant of arrest issued under this act, unless the contrary is provided under any act, shall A. bear the date of issue, B. contain all necessary particulars, C. be signed by the issuing judge or magistrate. Take note. So where a warrant of arrest is issued under section 71, 72 says that warrant must bear the date it is issued, it must contain all necessary particulars, and it must be signed by the issuing authority, that is the judge or the magistrate. That's 72 subsection 1. 72 subsection 2 now says, a warrant shall A. state the offense or matter for which it is issued, B. name and describe the suspect to be arrested, and then C. order the person to whom it is directed to arrest the suspect and bring him before the court. Okay, take note. Remember, section 72 subsection 1 says a warrant of arrest shall bear the date of issue, contain necessary particulars, and then be signed by the issuing authority. So what are the necessary particulars it should contain? 72 subsection 2 now says a warrant shall state the offense or matter for which it is issued, necessary particulars. B. name and describe the suspect to be arrested, necessary particulars. C. order the person to whom it is directed to arrest the suspect and bring him before the court. So a warrant of arrest is usually directed to a police officer, a named police officer, or any other police officer to arrest a person and bring him before the court. Okay, so take note. Now let's go to section 73. A warrant of arrest shall not be issued in the first instance in respect of any complaint or statement, unless the complainant or statement is on oath, either by the complainant himself or by a material witness. Okay, take note. 74 now. A warrant of arrest may be issued on any day, including a Sunday or public holiday. That's very simple, right? A warrant of arrest may be issued on any day, including Sunday or public holiday. Okay, it's very simple. 75 subsection 1. A warrant of arrest may be directed to a police officer by name or to all police officers. Okay, a warrant of arrest may be directed to a particular police officer or to all police officers. Okay, that's 75 subsection 1. Subsection 2 now says it is not necessary to make a warrant of arrest returnable at any particular time, and the warrant shall remain in force until it is executed or until a judge or magistrate cancels it. Take note. A warrant of arrest shall be in force until it is executed or until a magistrate or judge cancels it. So if a warrant is issued against someone in 2024 now, and the person is not was not apprehended until 2028, until the person is apprehended, the warrant of arrest is still valid. It has no expiry date. It's only expired when it is executed or when the judge or the issuing authority cancels it. Okay, take note. 75 subsection 3 now says, where a warrant of arrest has been executed and the suspect arrested has been released, the warrant shall no longer be valid authority for arresting the suspect. You have to go and get another warrant. That's it. Where a warrant has been executed, 75 subsection 3, where a warrant has been executed and the suspect arrested has been released, the warrant shall no longer be valid authority of rearresting the suspect. Okay, so once a warrant is executed on Mr. A, that warrant already expires. If after releasing Mr. A, if you need to rearrest Mr. A, you have to go and get another warrant. You cannot use the already utilized warrant. Okay, because the lifespan of that warrant has been exhausted. I think that's simple. 76 subsection 1. A court issuing a warrant of arrest may, where it its immediate execution is necessary and no police officer is immediately available, direct it to some other person or persons, and the person or persons shall execute the warrant. That means the court may direct certain individuals where the police officer to whom it intends to direct it or other police officers are not available to arrest a particular person and execute it. Remember, we already spoke of private person arresting a suspect. Can a private person arrest a suspect? I think that was episode 6 or is it 5? I can't remember. Okay, so a court issuing 76 subsection 1 now. A court issuing a warrant of arrest may, where its immediate execution is necessary and no police officer is immediately available, direct it to some other person or persons, and the person or persons shall execute the warrant. Private person executing an arrest. That's all. Now, 76 subsection 2. A person, when executing a warrant of arrest directed to him, shall have all the powers, rights, privileges, and protection given to or afforded by law to a police officer executing a warrant of arrest, and shall conform with the requirement imposed by law on the police officer. So, where an arrest warrant is directed to a person to effect an arrest, such person shall be deemed to be empowered with all the powers of a police officer or a law enforcement agency. Okay, take note. That's what that section is saying. Section 76, subsection 2. Let me read it again. A person, when executing a warrant of arrest directed to him, shall have all the powers, rights, privileges, and protection given to or afforded by law to a police officer executing a warrant of arrest, and shall conform with the requirement imposed by law on a police officer. That's all. Okay. Now, 77. Execution of warrant and procedure. 77 subsection 1. A warrant of arrest may be executed on any day, including a Sunday or public holiday. Take note. A warrant of arrest may be executed on any day, including a Sunday or public holiday. That's 77 subsection 1. Subsection 2 now. A warrant of arrest may be executed by any police officer at any time and in any place in any state other than within the actual courtroom in which a court is sitting. Take note. So a warrant of arrest cannot be executed in a courtroom where the court is sitting. The court is in where a proceeding is actually ongoing. That is, the magistrate or the judge is sitting and maybe trial is going on. But now there are several provisions that guide this too. There's the ACJ, there's the ACJL. Okay. Now, under the ACJ, it can be executed in a courtroom, but when the court is not sitting. Okay, that's under the ACJ. But under the ACJ Lagos, it cannot be executed in the courtroom itself. Okay, so that's it. 77 subsection 2. A warrant of arrest may be executed by any police officer at any time and in any place in any state other than within the actual courtroom in which a court is sitting. Okay. 77 subsection 3. The police officer executing a warrant of arrest shall, before making the arrest, inform the suspect to be arrested that there is a warrant for his arrest, unless there is reasonable cause for abstaining from giving the information on the ground that it is likely to occasion escape, resistance, or rescue. So the police officer must inform the person to be arrested that, look, there's a warrant for your arrest. Only where there's a reasonable ground that the person may escape or resist or try to abscond. Okay. Now, 77 subsection 4. A suspect arrested on a warrant of arrest shall, subject to the provision of the Constitution and section 80 and 81 of this act, be brought before the court that issued the warrant of arrest. Okay. Take note. 78 now. Power to arrest without warrant in possession. A warrant of arrest may be executed notwithstanding that it is not in the possession of the person at the time of executing the warrant, but the warrant shall on demand by the suspect be shown to him within 24 hours. So, say for instance, a police officer was ordered to arrest someone, and maybe he is not with the warrant of arrest with him. Maybe he just decided to go and maybe went to relax somewhere. Then now saw the person he was directed to arrest, maybe in a hotel, or they just went to relax. He might have forgotten the warrant of arrest, maybe at the office or somewhere else. Then he went to relax at the hotel, and he now sees the person is directed to arrest. It can effect the arrest despite the fact that he's not with the arrest warrant with him, but you must you must show the warrant of arrest to such person within 24 hours. That's what Section 78 of the Police Act provides for. Let me read it again. A warrant of arrest may be executed notwithstanding that it is not in the possession of the person at the time of executing the warrant, but the warrant shall, on demand by the suspect, be shown to him within 24 hours. Take note. Now, Section 79. A court, on issuing a warrant of arrest of a suspect in respect of a matter other than an offense punishable with death, may, if it deems fit by endorsement on the warrant, direct that the suspect named in the warrant be released on bail on his entry into such a recognizance for his appearance as may be required in the endorsement. So, there are some offenses that are not punishable by death. Okay, if it's a minor misdemeanor, okay, the court may endorse or direct on the warrant that the person be, after arrest, may be, be released on bail. Okay, after entering recognizance. Okay, so the court may direct particulars of security to be taken on execution of the warrant. Take note. That's 79 subsection 1. Subsection 2. Now, the endorsement now shall specify the number of sureties, if any, the amount in which they and the suspect named in the warrant are respectively to be bound or are to provide as cash security on the request of the suspect or surety. That's B. C. The court before which the arrested suspect is to attend. And D. The time at which the suspect is to attend, including an undertaking to appear at a time subsequent as may be directed by any court before which he may appear. Okay, now 79 subsection 3. Where an endorsement is made, the officer in charge of the police station to which on arrest the suspect named in the warrant is brought shall discharge him on his entry into recognizance. Take note. With or without surety is approved by that officer in accordance with the endorsement. Condition for his appearance before the court and at the time the place named in the recognizance. So where the endorsement is made on the endorsement for his release on bail is made on the warrant, the officer in charge of the police station shall obey the endorsement. That's what this section is talking about. Okay. Now, 79 subsection 4. Where security is taken under this section, the officer who takes the recognizance shall cause it to be forwarded to the court before which the suspect named in the recognizance is bound to appear. Okay. Let's go to section 80 now. Section 80. Warrant issued by Federal High Court. A warrant of arrest issued by a Federal High Court sitting anywhere in Nigeria may be executed in any part of Nigeria. Take note. The Federal High Court is just one. They have one just one jurisdiction. However, it is for the administrative conveniences that, they are multiple, just for administrative convenience. So, where a Federal High Court in Lagos sits and issue a warrant of arrest for someone in, say, Sokoto, it could be executed in Sokoto too. Okay? Take note. That's section 80 subsection 1. Subsection 2. 80 subsection 2. A warrant issued under this section may be executed in accordance with section 75 of this act. Okay? Take note. Let's go to 81. Where a suspect in lawful custody escapes or is rescued, the person from whose custody he escaped or is rescued or any other person may pursue and rearrest him in any place in Nigeria. Okay? Take note. Section 82. The provisions of section 43 and 53 of this act shall apply to arrest under section 74 and 79 of this act, although the person making such arrest is not acting under a warrant and is not a police officer having authority to arrest. Okay, let's go to 43, the provision of 43 and 53. Hold on, I'm almost there. Section 43. Section 43 simply says arrested suspect to be taken immediately to the police station. Okay. Now, what does section 53 talk about? Let me see. Examination of arrested suspect. So that's fine. Just it's something we already treated. So let's go back to section 82. That's one thing about the law. You have to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. So I think we are done with section 82. Okay. That is the provisions. Section 82 once again says the provisions of section 43 and 53 arrest, examination of arrested suspect and arrested suspect to be taken to police custody immediately of this act shall apply to the provision of section 74, blah 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 blah. That's it. So let's talk about 83, public safety and public order. Section 83, subsection 1. The police force is responsible for maintaining and securing public safety and public order. Section 83.1. Section 83.2 now. The police force shall, in carrying out in responsibility of maintaining and securing public safety and public order, A. Uphold the provision of the Constitution and other laws. B. Uphold and protect the fundamental rights of all persons in Nigeria. And C. Be fair to all persons in Nigeria, notwithstanding their economic status, religious, ethnic, or political beliefs and affiliations. Okay. 83 subsection 3, subject to the provision of subsection 1, that is, maintaining the responsibility of the police to maintain and secure public safety and public order. The Commissioner of Police of a state is responsible for maintaining security, public safety, and public order within the state. Okay. Section 83 subsection 4 now. Where a person or organization notifies the police of his or its intention to hold a public meeting, rally, or procession on a public highway, or such meetings in a place where the public has access to, the police officer responsible for the area where the meeting, rally, or procession will take place shall mobilize personnel to provide security cover for the meeting, rally, or procession. Take notes. Take notes. I think that should be all for now. In the next episode, we'll continue from section 84. Okay, that's part 9 now. Prevention of offenses and security for good behavior. Section 84, police to prevent offenses and injury to public property. And then we'll move to 85, information on plan to commit offense. And then arrest by police to prevent offenses, prevention by other public officer of offenses, blah 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 blah. Thank you very much for joining today's episode of Legal Conversations. We'll see you in the next episode. Enjoy.